focused and fearless. Here's everything you need to know this rush hour of June 12, Independence Day. I'm Riza Diaz. We start today's rush with authorities now taking investigations against Kapa Community Ministry up a notch with nationwide raids of the so-called religious group's offices. It turns out the group's fake investment scheme dates back years ago and we're only seeing the tail end of it. Romel Lopez has the story.
NBI conducted simultaneous raid at 11 Kapa Community Ministry offices nationwide, including this one in Taytay, Rizal. But since most of the offices were closed and non-operational, nobody was arrested. Though the NBI says they retrieved important documents proving the religious group's anomalous transaction.
Yes, we were able to seize documents proving that money were received by Kapa from their members. Ang napansin ng ating mga ahente, kung sino ang nag-a-assist sa pasok ng member, may 5% automatic.
It is now clear that the religion was only a cover for Kapa's investment scam.
Based on the reports from our agents, wala tayong nakitang religious activity. From day one up to the time na it was right for operation, not a single religious activity was conducted by the organization. Yung interest ay blessing.
This type of investment qualifies as a securities violation.
Na itong Kapa ay walang secondary license, ito ang kailangang lisensya na kung saan pwede ang isang korporasyon tumanggap o mag-engage ng investment.
NBI says that years ago, they arrested for estafa Pastor Joel Apolinario, who was Kapa's church leader. Apolinario was able to post bail, going off the radar, only to return with a bigger scheme. Now the NBI is considering charging Apolinario and other incorporators of Kapa with large-scale estafa and syndicated estafa. Meanwhile, the PNP urges victims of Kapa's investment scam to come forward and help authorities strengthen their case against the perpetrators.
Walang umaamin na naging bahagi siya o nabiktima siya ng investment scam na ito. So, ang panawagan natin sa lahat ng mga naging bahagi nitong investment scam na ito ay makipagtulungan po sa ating otoridad. Maaari pong lumapit sa PNP o sa NBI.
For News 5, Romel Lopez. We are One News.
More of those easy money type investment. Authorities are also zeroing in on an investment company in Davao del Norte which offers a whopping 400% return per month. Gemma Vansenia has the story.
Security guards tried to control people from entering a mall in Tagum City, Davao del Norte last Saturday, but they were overpowered. People rushed to Rygen Marketing to claim their payouts amounting from 20 to 200,000 pesos. Rygen, a networking company, offers 400% interest from their investors' capital after just 1 month. It started April this year, but Securities and Exchange Commission released an advisory against companies such as Rygen which were believed to be investment scams. Thus, using a search warrant, personnel of SEC and CIDG raided the Rygen office this morning.
The instruction from the Rygen Marketing is to fully cooperate with the government agency, and whatever the government will order, they will comply with that.
But only computer monitors, printers, and Rygen's products were found inside.
I don't know kung it will give weight, no? But dito, may nakita nyo naman na merong printer, monitor. Yun lang ho ang nakita na inabutan ng ating mga tropa.
Authorities also raided Everarm Any Marketing. Investors and even Tagum City Mayor Alan Relion hope these companies will not be shut down.
Base along the way na ay maayo na nga illegalize na ay policy and ma-control, ma-regulate nga i-allow na siya ba?
Okay, katabang ni. Wala man ni, wala na krimen karon, bisa magbutang kuan. Wala na mag-rebuild eh. Wala na mangawat, wala na manulis. Tabangan kita ni kuan ni presidente.
For News 5, Gemma Vansenia, we are One News.
Youth group says Duterte youth nominee Ronald Cardema is too old to represent the youth sector in the Congress. But the former National Youth Commission chairman argues he's not only representing the youth but young professionals as well. Patricia Mangune has the story.
Duterte Youth Party List nominee Ronald Cardema faced the Commission on Elections en banc to answer disqualification petitions against him. Youth groups argued that Cardema should comply with the Party List Systems Act, which limits the age of nominees within 25 to 30 years old. But Cardema's camp said the 34-year-old nominee is qualified because he is not only representing the youth, but also the young professionals. The petitioners did not budge.
Yung mga young professional naman di naman matatawag na young kapag lumagpas na dun sa edad. So doon pa lang may butas na. And yung paniniwala talaga natin, dinagdag lang yung pagiging young professional or professional para malusutan yung age requirement for young representatives. At conscious itong ginawa ng Duterte Youth.
Cardema refused to speak with the media under the court rules. The COMELEC, however, assured it will examine the arguments of both parties to resolve the case. Meanwhile, outside the COMELEC, other youth groups protested against Cardema's party list representation for the same reason. But they also alleged that Cardema used his previous position as chairman of the National Youth Commission to campaign for the Duterte Youth Party List.
Napakarami po nating mga reports, mga ebidensya na nalikom na talagang totoong ginamit yung ahensya ng gobyerno, hindi lamang para mangampanya para sa Duterte Youth Party List, kung hindi para din manira, mag-campaign against, mag-electioneering against dito sa mga progressive candidates, lalong-lalo na po doon sa tunay na representasyon ng mga kabataan, na kabataan party list. Lantaran, napakakapal ng muka, na the day before election, biglang nag-substitute, bigla na lang siyang pumalit at biglang nag-aastang kongresista.
Former heads of the commission also called on the COMELEC to junk Cardema's nomination. Among them are Ice Guerra, Gregorio Ramon Chongson, Leon Flores III, as well as Dingdong Dantes, Percival Sendana, and Erwin Andaya.
Klarong-klarong labas sila dun sa prescribed na edad na naka-indicate dun sa party list. O maling-mali talaga na kung ito sila ay pagbibigyan, alam mo, mahalaga yung representasyon kahit saan ka man, lalo na sa policy making. Ang mga kabataan nga ngayon naghahanap ng representado sa iba't ibang level or antas, whether sa paaralan, sa gobyerno, sa kanilang barangay.
For News 5, Patricia Mangune. We are One News.
PhilHealth admits there have been some irregularities over health insurance claims in the past years, but the agency says PhilHealth's losses aren't as big as what the reports say. Ria Fernandez has the story.
According to presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo, PhilHealth officials denied reports that the agency lost around 150 billion pesos from the scam.
Yung daw inquirer, kasama ka ba doon sa sumulat? It's a malicious, baseless article with respect to the amount. Parang nilobo nila lang kung sa mali daw yung mga basis. If I'm not mistaken, parang 300 million lang na
300 ang
parang ganun. Hindi ako masyadong sure doon. Basta sobrang bloated daw yun. The satisfaction rating ng PhilHealth ngayon, taas. Plus, yung pondo natin sa PhilHealth malaki.
Despite the incident, Panelo said that the chief executive still trusts PhilHealth acting president and CEO Roy Ferrer and other board members. He said they were just asked to vacate their posts to ensure that they wouldn't influence the conduct of the probe. But once the investigation is done and their names are cleared, Panelo said they can still return to the government.
Para may binanggit pa nga siya doon, kung okay, di pwede naman sila ibalik. O kaya bigyan sila ng ibang posisyon, whatever.
Meanwhile, a PhilHealth official came to their employees' defense as it was alleged that some of them had a hand in the issue. PhilHealth Deputy Spokesperson Ray Balenya believes that none among their employees is involved in the anomaly. Health Secretary Francisco Duque III said the reshuffle will first be implemented on the accreditation committee of the PhilHealth headquarters. Then other operating units will follow. Those in plantilla positions will temporarily lead PhilHealth while the investigation is underway. Amid this, PhilHealth assured that their services won't be hampered.
Siyempre, nakakalungkot yung mga pangyayari, pero at the same time ay positibo kami sa mga nangyayaring ito dahil alam natin ang lahat ng ito ang dulo sa ikabubuti ng PhilHealth, sa ikabubuti ng programa at sa ikabubuti ng mga pasyente na nangangailangan ng tulong ng PhilHealth.
Duque stressed that the universal healthcare law does not need to be suspended, opposing the recommendation of Attorney Harry Roque, one of the authors of the measure.
The drafting of the IRR continues until about September, when the IRR will be promulgated. And so between now and September, we will have ample time to make the requisite reorganization.
Now, the DOH plans to carry out another raid against dialysis centers to capture those responsible behind the ghost claims. The president is also open to tapping the service private accountants to audit PhilHealth's operating and management systems. For News 5, Ria Fernandez, We Are One News.
Now, speaking of some changes in PhilHealth's management, we've got the latest on possibly the next head of the State Health Insurance Agency. Philippine Star reports that President Duterte has offered the top PhilHealth post to Dr. Jaime Cruz, replacing Roy Ferrer. Now, aside from being a medical practitioner, Cruz is also CEO of the JTC Group of Companies, which holds franchises of branded food concepts in Metro Manila and Davao. Meanwhile, the construction of MRT-7 is experiencing some delays. Business World reports that the construction of the 60 billion peso train system connecting MRT-3's North Avenue station to San Jose Belmonte or Del Monte, Bulacan will be extended until 2022 due to the right-of-way issues. However, the project proponent San Miguel Corporation says the first section of the railway from North EDSA Common Station to Fairview will be operational by 2021. And in sports, we are going to Game 6. With Kyle Lowry's three-point attempt failing to land a buzzer beater, the Golden State Warriors bounced back to claim a Game 5 of the NBA Finals 106-105. Filipino Star ngayon reports that the Raptors still has the advantage with 3 wins in the best-of-7 championship series. The Warriors may have won the game, but can they keep up with Kevin Durant sustaining a torn Achilles? Well, we'll find out on Game 6 this Thursday. More action now in Sports Rush. 8th Division World Champion Manny Pacquiao normally lets his fist do the talking for him. But as Pacman prepares for his match against the undefeated Keith Thurman, Coach Buboy Fernandez says it's a little different this time. Lynn Olivario with the story.
Manny Pacquiao is now in the heavy stages of his preparation for the WBA welterweight showdown against Keith Thurman, now adding sparring sessions to his routine. And the People's Champ is not lacking in motivation.
Itong sinabi kasi nito ron, masyado ng below the belt na, pati religion na isama na ayaw namang iano ng ating fighting senator.
But Manny assures Thurman's trash talk is all good fuel to get him pumped up.
Maganda naman yung mga sinasabi niya, nakaka-encourage para mag-focus sa training.
While Buboy Fernandez likens 30-year-old Thurman to Pacquiao's former opponents, he's certain the American will not engage.
Siguro, De La Hoya. De La Hoya na nagalaw, pero yung pagbitaw ng mga suntok niya, similarity naman sa galaw ni Cotto. I don't think so na makipagsabayan sa atin yun. Tatakbo yun.
On the flip side, Manny also knows Thurman's weaknesses that he can exploit.
Yung pagiging careless niya, and then although sinasabi niya mabilis siya, pero I think mas mabilis tayo doon. Hand speed, footwork, and experience-wise, mas lamang tayo.
And what does he want to show in this fight?
Para sa iyo ang laban na to. Basta yang Manny Pacquiao ang gusto kong makita.
Ibang bagyo to ang sasalubungin ito na galing South Pacific Ocean. Ang knockout kasi hindi natin masabi kung kailan darating, but I assure you, patumbahin natin yan.
Team Pacquiao will continue training daily until they fly out to Los Angeles on Saturday. For News 5, Lynn Olivario, We Are One News.
Today marks the 121st commemoration of the Philippine Independence Day. And to give us the updates and the latest of the day's festivities, we have with us Greg Gregorio live from Kawit, Cavite. Greg, what's the latest?
Salamat po sa pakikinig Riza, we are here today at the Emilio Aguinaldo Shrine in Kawit, Cavite, where Senator Cynthia Villar will lead one of the country's activities for today's commemoration of the 121st Independence Day. To honor the first president of the Republic, a wreath laying will occur at the tomb of General Emilio Aguinaldo. This will be followed by a flag raising ceremony at the balcony of the shrine, which will be preceded by several speeches from guests, including Aguinaldo's descendants. The Cavite Shrine serves as one of the country's historical sites because this is where the flag was famously raised by Aguinaldo himself to symbolize the independence of the Philippines from Spain. This day also marks the end of the yearly celebration of the National Flag Day, which starts on May 28. That was when the Philippine flag was first waved as a sign of the Philippine Revolution after the success of Filipinos during the Battle of Alapan in 1898. We also commemorate this day as the first time the national anthem was played in public. Meanwhile, simultaneous flag-raising activities will also happen at 8 a.m. this morning in different parts of the country. These areas include Rizal Park in Manila with Vice President Leni Robredo, at the Baraswain Church in Malolos, Bulacan with House Speaker Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, and at the Bonifacio National Monument in Caloocan City with Chief Justice Lucas Bersamin. Riza, at the moment, Senator Cynthia Villar has already arrived and the PNP has already secured this area in front of the Emilio Aguinaldo Shrine for a later's activity. And also behind me is the ongoing Parada para sa Kalayaan by the socio-civic organizations and representatives from various barangays under the local government of Kawit, Cavite. Riza?
Thank you. That was Greg Gregorio live from Kawit, Cavite. And that's how today is shaping up to be. Join us again next time for another round of Rush. Stay tuned for more of One News coverage of the Independence Day celebrations. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.